Let's do the investors panel with like untraditional answers, right? So, and I don't have a certain script in general, but I want us to give a bit of insight. So, what's happening within the investor circle to the audience as well. And let's start from introducing yourself.
Hello, hello. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for inviting Juliet. Good to speak with you earlier today at another panel. Showing some upstream capital, for example, partner here. 80 million fund. We are pretty much in the infra. We've done Manta, we've done Say, Ether5, Out.net. Earlier background of Arthur. I think we made 4,000x at the top last cycle. Been here for a while, and let's see, we invest a lot of deals with Foresight, of course C Square, and Commerce and Look, etc. Yeah, looking a lot into Bitcoin space, looking a lot into infra, did quite a bit of deals. I came from Hong Kong, I did my masters in Norway and be in Nigeria, get to learn about crypto in Nigeria when my roommate was doing money laundering. I lost all my money, but now I'm coming back, and our fund is coming back. So if you guys are looking for projects, or if you guys are looking for VCs, I'm happy to chat.
Hey guys, Ian from Foresight Ventures. So Foresight, we started 2021, backed by a centralized exchange called BitGet. It's a pretty comprehensive ecosystem, right? We have the exchange, we have wallet, one of the biggest wallet in the world, BitGet Wallet. We also have like huge media alliance, right? We have the blog, we have Foresight News in China, Block Temple in Taiwan, Coinbase in South Korea. So we want to be like positioned as a VC that really can truly bridge in the Western and the Eastern. So yeah, we're here to help the like early stage founders. We're kind of agnostic to like any sort of like crypto project, but there's several attention we've been put on in the whole industry. So we put a lot of attention on consumer applications. Ton, we just announced like 30 million investment to Ton. And we put a lot of attention on AI and crypto intersection because we think that that's one of the most innovative two industry that really can merge together. Another one is PayFi. So we recently do something with PayFi because the whole ecosystem, right? The exchange, we're incubating a layer 2 called Morph. So yeah. A bit more about myself. So I'm actually a machine learning engineer before. So I started to like invest in AI. Day one, I joined Foresight. Yeah. So happy to talk to you guys.
Yeah, hi, Nenter from Animal Ventures. So we are the early stage venture investment arm for Animal Brands based out of Hong Kong. I think everyone knows us more so for gaming, and you know it's very much core to our DNA. But the venture side, we basically invest in every subsector of Web3, you know, DeFi, infra, AI, etc. So happy to be here.
Hi everyone, I'm Ciara, founder and managing partner of C Square Ventures. We are a 100 million early stage Web3 investment firm, focusing on helping projects grow with our expertise in token operations. So prior to fund C Square Ventures, I was vice president of Uber Group, built out the global markets team, institutional team, listing, BD, and investments. Been in the industry since 2017. Prior to that, I was doing international finance in New York with BCG, and happy to be here.
Hi guys, this is Ivan. I'm a GP of Combo 3 Ventures, so early stage crypto investment firm based in Singapore, Taiwan, Bay Area, right? And our recent focus, Bitcoin ecosystem, Sui ecosystem, a lot of DeFi's, game projects I follow Animal Cast, and personal DeFi degen. So if you like DeFi, if you're building a DeFi, I would say innovative protocols, talk to me. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Great. everyone's got such a great background. So yeah, briefly about myself. My name is Juliet. I'm a partner of New Tribe Capital. So we've been based in Dubai for the last 4 years. Have a great variety of 200 plus portfolio companies to keep active. And yeah, as it was mentioned, like trying to connect the East and the West, because my background being mainly connected to 10 years Korean Chinese corporates. And I spent like quite a lot of time in China, but yeah, I'm happy to be in crypto. And yeah, let's try to give more of insight to the audience, because I've been here for 5 days and there is one question I've been most frequently asked. And I believe you got the same thing. What is your investment thesis? You touched that a bit, but like every project, everyone is asking the same. So what is your investment thesis? What is the investment thesis? Did it change somehow for you recently?
I think it's changing kind of every single day. And we previously we got into a lot of early deals. Last cycle, sitting at a bar in the evening, saw Aave. We thought it was so innovative, so I can do it. I think our fund was the third in the world to bought Aave. So later on started Uniswap China communities, and I think last cycle we also, before the GameFi craze, we went to Vietnam to meet staff on the Axie Infinity. We passed them because we were gamers ourselves and thought the game was shit, and turns out we are wrong. And I think this cycle we're seeing a lot more fast changing narrative right now. I think Ton definitely one of the things that we are investing or we are focusing a lot on. AI, restaking, Solana restaking right now. There is Solana previously, Bitcoin, they've got Babylon, Ethereum, they've got Agamea, and right now I think even in modular blockchain they've got that thing called Milky Way. So we see what is happening in the market world, the changing narrative, and then we ape into that. We are not that smart, so we see what smart people are building and do that. And I think one of the things we are focusing a lot in is founder, because a lot of times if it's founders who have done some successful projects before, this is what we like a lot. The investment thesis, I think right now, AI, Ton, especially Ton infrastructure, and probably some of the restaking play or share security. They've got a new name which is kind of the same, just a new stuff, because we need retail to pump it, so we need to create some new terms.
Can you mention a few deals that you did in Tom, for example, like consistently? Or a few successful use cases or a few successful projects that you believe like it's matching your thesis?
Tom, we are looking very closely, so we've looked into most of the games, and I feel games in Tom, they are casual games, because if you spend more than 5 seconds in looking at Tom games, people aren't gonna play that game. So most of the Tom games are casual games. We've spoken with quite a bit, like Notcoin, etc. They didn't accept VC chat, but right now we are looking at a few areas of Ton. I think one is infrastructure. We like OpenArt, which is an advertisement kind of protocol on Ton, and of course we like Tag, TAC, by the Ton team. I think everybody likes them, especially within the VC space. And I think the second category is betting protocol. I feel is kind of a natural need for Ton to have betting protocols, but we haven't seen any Ton betting protocols that have huge users. I think right now we are looking at Rivalry or Well, but Well is the top one, but the metrics aren't that good. Rivalry is very good, but they are Web 2, so they are trying to shift to Web 3 space. It remains to be seen. We haven't done anything, so looking to see if you guys are building anything, we can chat.
Cool. Thanks for such a comprehensive answer.
Yeah, so in a very general perspective, from my understanding, so the biggest gap I have ever switched in terms of the investment thesis is that the crypto world have really coming into a stage that you cannot just play with the narrative. You have to shipping some real product with the value, with the true value. So a lot of time we were looking at the project, AI project, have big vision, they're talking very big about to be the competitor to OpenAI or something. But now you have to really shipping the product to either the market or the VC to really convince them that you're truly doing something valuable. That's one thing. And another one is that I think people now are generally, especially VC or exchange, I think they put more and more and more attention on the user acquisition. I believe that's also why like everyone is looking into Ton, because that's basically a port to like the Web2 users, or like in general like how to make the crypto stand out, to bring more like new user to the industry, like yeah. So you have to really like care about like how to like have more user on your ecosystem or on your protocol or on your applications, because you can see even for a lot of like top tier ecosystem, right, like ZK Rollup or like other like gaming platform, there's no active users. So that's a big problem we also realize. And so when we look at the project, we also like check like how do they like really onboarding more users, like not just focusing on tech, right? Tech is important. I'm a big fan of tech. I have a technical background, but you really need to think about like how to acquire more users, and that's also like part of the reason why like Foresight is incubating more, because like we have like big that's exchange that's probably like one of the few like business in industry that can really bring users. So yeah, but talking about like the AI industry, the thesis behind it is more of how to really find the core value that crypto can really provide to like the AI industry. Not only focus on like Web3 use case or Web3 users. That's too limited, right? So for the AI investment we made, we generally like those kind of projects that really aiming to use the crypto to help like crypto and AI stand out as a whole, like to the whole AI industry.
I guess in general, look, I think for us, regardless of which sector, whether or not it's infra, DeFi, consumer gaming, etc., it ultimately comes down to entries and exits, right? I mean, there's gonna be narratives shifting, from time to time, pretty quickly in our industry. So your entry levels matter a lot. You can, the one example I always use, right? Twitter. If you invested 9 years prior to Elon taking it private, you would have broken even though all the user numbers, etc., just skyrocketed during that time period. So your entry and your exit from a VC perspective is critical to return shareholder value. Now, so that's why I don't really differentiate, and there's no specific sort of key focus, even though there are areas we're more interested in to sort of balance out the portfolio. What I will say is that consumer applications are a big focus for us, and not just gaming, but consumer X gaming as well. Because and when we look at it, it's is this something that the average person can use that doesn't give it care about crypto? Is it 10 times better than anything that exists at the moment? We're pretty chain agnostic, so there are ecosystems where I think they're, for example, Berachain has a very strong community building. There's Ton has a very phenomenal distribution platform. But for the way we look at it, it's more secondary. I think first and foremost, how's your product? Can you is this something that people will use? Can you onboard, have someone create an account and on-ramp within less than a minute, within 3 to 4 steps, right? Remove that user friction. And ultimately, if there's product market fit, because ultimately, I think any solid product, regardless of what chain you're launching exclusively on, you will be able to go multi-chain. You can always shift to another chain. So to me, I think that's the most important.
Right. May I ask you just like a quick question? Because Animoca in general is well known as the lead, like absolute leader within the gaming space, right? For games. So, but like we are co-invested in a few leading kind of ecosystem projects in AI space, like Key Protocol, like Bitcoin space, and then I believe not that many people know that especially you guys from Animoca Ventures, that you are looking into the other narratives, so could you please specify that how did the whole thesis change recently,
Well,
And what made you to expand into the other sectors?
well, I don't think it changed. I think it's just what you define. You know, a lot of people know us as, you know, metaverse and gaming, right? That's sort of how we made our name with some of the earlier Axie Infinity's, Sandbox. But I guess how we define the metaverse is really the open metaverse, which I think, you know, includes every part of Web3, right? And you need every single part for this to work. So that's why our investment goals are pretty wide in general, because all of that encompasses what our mandate is.
For the thesis, I really agree with Netter. I think for VC, it's all about the cycle. So it's really the timing matters more than any sector or like any single deal. So we raised the fund late, like end of 2021 and closed it 2022 summer. It was kind of a good time for raising, and we were lucky enough to raise 100 million within that 6 month time period, and then start deploying. By now, pretty much fully deployed. And I think it's quite late for investing in any VC deal right now, just giving the timing of the cycle. Either you invest in a really, really early team, and then they have the ability to pivot, whatever it takes, and be able to raise bigger rounds later on, because when the bear market hits, they will be able to survive. And then, you know, token listing, TGE, even in the next, say, 8 to 12 months, you still have a year of full lockup and then 3 years vesting. It doesn't make sense. So for a primary market deal, it's quite slow for us, and it's been the time since last fall for taking a deeper look into liquid tokens, and also like for assessing the market, liquidity is so centralized right now in exchanges, and it's very, very hard for projects to get access to more liquidity. So you can see from the recent listing, some protocols are really undervalued if they don't get listed on Binance, and some that they did get really overvalued. And you know, eventually the market is gonna correct it, probably before the investors actually get any tokens. So yeah, I think timing is more important, and then team is gonna be the second for us. Like I said, I mean, being able to invest in a resilient team that just don't give up and being able to pivot in this market is very important. We invested in Aether when they were still doing gaming rendering, and now they're the biggest dipping project. And that's potentially, if we can get the token and then they stay at the same valuation, it's gonna be 100% for us. And we invest in Project Galaxy and Cyber Connect when the founders were doing legal in 2017. But they pivoted, they just couldn't give up. And I think this market really reward founders that have the ability to be resilient in doing their products.
Yeah, very smart. I would say crypto investment, time is everything. You know, time is the first. Team and product probably comes second, but as well as, you know, maybe backers or something. But I think timing is the most important. So very smart. So given some maybe examples. So we look at say Bitcoin ecosystem. I'm sure many of you looking in Bitcoin ecosystem either there too. So you know, like a BitcoinFi liquidity solutions. So we have around like 20 portfolios on that. So one project I want to mention. So because a lot of audience here, you want some offers, right? So there's one project called Zeus Network. It's basically bring Bitcoin liquidity. It's a communication layer. Bring Bitcoin liquidity onto Solana, right? So we incubated this project almost like 3 years. So every single Friday, you know, sitting in my office, change a deck, change a page. We even change the name, right? And then all the, I don't know, the tokenomics, everything. So, you know, co-founder of Solana, Anthony Invest, and then it took off. Day one listing, OKX. It's just like very, very good project. But why is it a very good project? Because it's a very good founder. Founder is a very close friend of mine. I found him CDO and then say, hey, we should do this. So, but it takes time, 3 years, right? So that's one example. Zeus, by Zeus, it's kind of they have like so many assets sitting in treasury. So I'm gonna show this, right? And so the other focus recently, which is very interesting, we are massively invest in Sui ecosystem. So I bullish Sui since 2 years ago, and 2 years ago I got a couple of friends say, "Hey, what the hell, Ivan? Why Sui?" I was like, "Yeah, look at the product." So by far, I still believe layer one wise, Sui blockchain is the best blockchain in the space. Yeah, prove me wrong, but yeah. So that's why we bullish the all the like, portfolios, all the DeFi's, the games, because like DeFi is still the all the pillars of the ecosystem, right? Any layer two, layer ones. Think about that. You mentioned about social fi, you mentioned about GameFi, you mentioned about DeFi, you mentioned about whatever fi. There's a fi, and that fi is DeFi, right? So yeah, our portfolios cover 85% of TVL on Sui network. Still bullish, and so this is another alpha by Sui. But it bounced a lot recently, so just be aware of it, right? By the deep. And personally still love DeFi. So a lot of I would say like DeFi is fundamental, like DEX, lending protocols, CDPs. Those are pillars of every ecosystem. So I look at every ecosystem DeFi projects at the very beginning, right? So recent years there's a very famous layer ones called Monad or like Bear Chain, every single chain. All of them, they got DeFi pillars. So yeah, that's kind of my thesis, and share with you guys. Thank you.
I actually found the perfect answer to this question. Whatever makes sense, because first of all, the thesis has been changing. Before, we've seen so many VCs like they invested in one specific ecosystem, or they invested in gaming, or they invested in DeFi, or they were focused on specific narratives. But right now, whatever makes sense in terms of the narratives, in terms of the team, in terms of the go-to-market strategy, and of course the timing itself. So if we have all these peers coming together, then of course I believe we will consider for investment. And because we got this strange topic, what makes us here to stay, and we've been through kind of very, very long bear market as of now, and I just want to ask you a question. How was that for you? How did you survive during the bear market? What did you do?
Yeah, I think before June 2029, I think I'm not staying, but seeing so many people coming, I think that's the reason to stay. But honestly, I guess last cycle and this cycle is very different. Last cycle our DPI is 20x, so on cash we are 30x on paper. So we've exited quite a bit, and this cycle I think even a lot of our VC friends are aiming for 2 to 5x DPI. So the return is gonna be a bit less and it's more competitive. So probably only the elites can stay, and that's why we are saying. But I think right now we need to be a lot cautious in terms of how we invest, what kind of things we invest, and trying to look for more avenues to get cash flow. But I mean, what we do? We still talk to projects. We talk to them every single day to see what are the inspirations. And oftentimes, when people are getting very bearish or people want to quit, I think this is the best time to stay on and to do things like. I was a long distance runner. I run like 5,000 meters. I broke the 10-year record of my high school. So I think when you have resilience, that's what can make you stay. And all of our team members are saying we all bankrupt before, so I think if we have done that once and we can do that twice and maybe third time, and probably maybe fourth time we go to heaven, but that's too late for us. And I think this cycle we are gonna make it big, but we just need to be very cautious and even lower down our expectation. We don't want to make a lot of eggs, but we just want to keep our money and multiply to be very safely in that sense.
Yeah, so actually, that's a funny question. We actually have the similar one the day before. Another of my friend asked me well, what's our goal for Foresight next year, and we said survive. So I mean Foresight is doing pretty well, but you need to for VC, you need really to think about this. having enough money on your fund, stay really focused. I would say stay focused is one of the most important things. You have to have your conviction, your judgment. You cannot just like follow others' decision, or you have to do your own research. Be very cautious. And definitely, I think like everyone is slowing down their investment in some way, but yeah, that's also like part of reason why we see like a lot of we see like in the beginning of the year they used to do like primary market, right, and then they switch to liquid fund, and then they lose money again pretty much. So it's really important to like stay really focused, have your conviction. I think that's all you need for like the primary market. So yeah, that's also like Foresight is doing like a lot of things, not only VC. We're trying to grow the whole ecosystem. We have huge growth in the wallet side, exchange. We acquired licensed bank, media as well. We're incubating a layer 2. So we're trying to make the whole ecosystem big, so we can be like strong enough to like supporting the portfolios and continuously like be in this industry and make more exposure and providing the value. Do something good.
Look, I mean, I think bear markets, I think bull and bear, right? There's always opportunities. You just kind of have to find it somewhere. I sound like Jim Cramer now, but no, I mean, I believe, ultimately, again, it comes down to entries and exits. I think there's always a lot of opportunities, and it's a supply and demand issue. I think in our industry, there's a very large supply of projects and companies out there, but I would say a handful that are investable and make money for a fund. So and so whether or not you're getting in at the height of a bull or the lows of a bear, I think that's sort of what differentiates the winners from the losers many times. So I think that's definitely something that we try to take advantage of when sentiment is low, and I do think that's something that I think human psychology is it always plays out the same way. So I think just understanding that and being disciplined, I think that's what matters.
What makes us here to stay?
It's more about like the past. How did you survive through the bear market?
Yeah, I think one mindset that we have that's quite helpful is that whatever that you do in finance pretty much equals risk management. So risk management is everything for us. Whatever is custodian, where you put your money in, we take it very, very seriously. When we look at custodian and talk to all of the other solutions for keeping our funds, even centralized exchanges, we're quite conservative. We would ask them what insurance rate do you actually offer. If you're covering 20% of the assets for the insurance, then I automatically think that I'm giving away 80% of my funds for free. So I wouldn't do it. That's why we were able to close the fund when everything bad that was happening was FTX, Luna, all of the other banks, Signature, Genesis, everything happened, and we had zero exposure. I think that was pretty much the key that you can survive in bear market. And similar, that's for institutions, and then similar for retail or for projects. How you do your treasury management, how you manage the funds that you raised, it's quite important. And for retail, don't use leverage or don't use any product that you don't fully understand it. And I think the central exchanges and other platforms are doing quite good job for user education, and they're asking for required quizzes for the users to actually know that they fully understand everything before they start using the trading apps. And that's important.
Why I stay here? Because I want to make money. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, I'll jump to the conclusion. So I just love my job, right? So I'm sure many founders here. So I think three elements or in position, your success. One, there's a part of market fit. I would say there's market demand. Market needs you. Market needs your solution. Second, you are good at it. You are very good at it. You are possibly beating 97, 98% of the people. And third, I certainly forgot the third. Okay, so you gotta have passion of what you're doing. So when these three elements align, I would say pretty high possibility you'll be successful. So, and that's why I say I love my job. I feel like I'm good at what I'm doing, and then being in the industry, we are surviving more than one cycle. Bear market, come on, it was so painful, but I still believe why VC exists, because if a lot of founders, if founders should take all the risk, then this world is not iterating, right? I mean, that's too much risk. You gotta have someone to stand by you, take a risk with you, and maybe more than one VC. You need like 5 VCs, 10 VCs, 100 VCs to take some risk and get maybe reward, maybe there's nothing back, right? But I'm still so happy to do it because most of our investment, not most, but I would say 40% of our investments not making money. But in crypto, what's the beauty of it? It's maybe 1, 2, 3 deals, 100x, 200x. You make it all back. You make profit. You can be responsible to your investors. You can be responsible to your families. So it's just simple math, right? Just like expectation value. So doing VCs totally makes sense, but agree to all of you, very seasoned investors. Private deal is getting harder and harder. So yeah, we were aiming, we delivered 11x before, but this cycle we actually aiming 4x. That to be realistic. So yeah, that's some point of view. Thanks.
That was very well said. I was actually about to ask another long question, but I believe we need to wrap up this panel. Yeah.
Sorry, we need to let Tiara go because she needs to run, and we promised our audience to have 5 minutes Q&A with our VCs. If you can stay, please. If not, we're good to go. You can?
I just want to ask a very short
Okay,
question.
we have.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so first short question, and I believe it will be a very good for most part of the audience. Your advice to founders in a few words.
I kind of already touched upon this. So risk management, treasury management, key, important, and being open-minded. You raise money for strategic reasons, right? So listen to your advisors and investors and your partners, being able to pivot fast. And then I think last one I would say, focusing on a real business model is a different game now in crypto. You have to be able to make revenue and profit in order to stay. It's not just a crypto game, token game anymore.
Thanks.
Just to be short, talk to Upstream with your founder. That's the advice. But also I think very importantly, trying to think about what to do which is new than following what other people are doing. Because new things they can always have maybe 1,000 potential.
Yeah, so I would say I'm also learning with those founders, but except for all the quality people would say, I would say 2 things I observed from those kind of previous investment I made, and they're really successful, is really be very humble and respectful, and most importantly, I think it's very open-minded. It doesn't matter what you start, right? You can start with a stupid idea, and then you can pivot. So just be very open-minded and respectful. I think it's mutual, both for VC, everyone in the industry.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add to that. I think they covered it all very well.
Just make it simple. So one, don't lie. Be honest. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to your business partner. Don't lie to your investors, right? And second, good communications. There are always good communication with your team members, with your investors, with your, everyone. And last, but I think the most importantly, never give up. Yeah, so many people are easy to give up. I don't know why. One cycle of bear market, you give up. Come on, right? Find VCs, take their money, take the risk with you, and don't give up. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So we are going into the Q&A session. Whoever has a question, please raise a hand.
One mic.
Okay.
So my question, it's a follow-up from earlier, and we've lost our panelist who made this response. But you mentioned, or it was mentioned, that having the vesting schedule and having it be late in the cycle right now is a bit of a problem for some VCs right now. What have you seen by way of shorter vesting schedules? Is that a trend that you're seeing in newer projects in order to get your attention? Or are you seeing that a push for shorter vesting schedules is working in your favor during this cycle?
Probably not working in your favor. Look, I mean, I think we're at the point in this cycle where, you know, you look at, it doesn't matter if it's CB listing, Binance listing, you know, it comes down to supply and demand. And you know, we haven't, I mean, there are certain tokens that are performing, but it depends on time frame. You know, is it, you know, are you talking about the first 2 hours where you're exiting, or are you talking about, you know, a longer term play? So I think, you know, most tend to focus on short term, which is what I think, because I think it's inherently in the nature of this market and its participants. You know, it's definitely, there was a time where this would be advantageous, but again, it comes down to, are you in, you know, via KOL round, VC round, angel, etc. So you really need the broader market demand to sort of come back, I would say. So I think, you know, you can play a lot of these games by, you know, shifting schedules based on what you expect investors would like, whatnot, but ultimately, you have, I mean, I think we're all, for the most part, longer term investors here, so you really have to, I believe you have to look beyond just the initial sort of ramp or sell-off or whatnot.
Thank you.
Who else? I've seen some hands here. Yeah. Okay, sorry, ladies first.
Thank you guys. Have you guys all deployed your money or anything left for the bear market, or it seems like the bull market is coming, or you need to raise new money for your fund? Because I heard someone said they already deployed all the money, but I don't know, all of you guys already invested all your money already.
Alright, fully deployed. What about you guys?
We haven't deployed, so maybe we are still, but we couldn't deploy at the right time. And we haven't deployed. We are also doing our third close of our second fund, so we are still looking at money and also deploying for a bit, but definitely slowing down. I think these past 2 months we've done maybe 2 million, and that's all.
Yeah, so very good question. Fully deployed, as I said, you know, time is everything in crypto investment. So we said let's go fully deployed by Q3 2024, early last year, 2023. So that means I'll go fully deployed, and then I'll come back to Asia to raise another fund. But I'm not raising yet because the market didn't tell me the timing yet, right? So I would say like, hey Ivan, when's the bull market? When's the Bitcoin 100K? I don't know. Come on, market will tell you guys. I don't know. So, but when the time comes, you do the right move, and that's my suggestion.
Yeah, so Foresight actually have a single LP, and we haven't deployed most of our fund, but we might think about like raise another like much bigger fund next year or something. But we're kind of thinking like, you know, raise when the market is good.
Last answer and
Yeah,
last question.
No, so we are not fully deployed, still, you know, deploying, but again, you know, to their point, I think, you know, being cautiously optimistic, and yeah, we will, you know, look to raise a second fund, but I think this one is still not fully deployed yet.
Because they are rich.
Okay, audience, last question. Okay. Can you
So, how can founders best protect themselves from predatory practices that arise in raising capital, like spear phishing, dirty sheets, things like that?
I'm not sure our VCs got your question. Try to rephrase.
So example like spearfishing is when you submit.
I love spearfishing. I did a lot of spearfishing actually.
But-
You're the sort of guy actually said he like loves spearfishing I met in Singapore.
Yeah, but like when a VC asks for your deck, just kind of so they can extract your IP. That's what spearfishing is in that context. So yeah, how can founders protect themselves from predatory practices that arise through raising capital?
It is a hard question. First of all, have you experienced any?
Well, look, I think make sure you have a good network of founders, VCs, those that have experience that can share those prior experiences, good or bad. I think trusting sort of your community, your inner community, make sure that they're folks that have been there, done that, and whether or not it's succeeded or failed, learn from their experiences. But it's a people business at the end of the day, right? So you really just have to find those you can rely on for advice.
Thank you. We are out of time.
Yeah, but thanks again for our rockstar VCs and thanks for such an engaged audience. We really appreciate it. Let's give another round of applause. Thanks everyone.
Dear speakers, please take 1 second for a joint photo with Head of Cointelegraph Accelerator and me.
Они слушают тебя в профиль или такой?
Такое.
Guys, let's make pictures and you talk. Everyone is looking at you.
Look at this blue iPhone.